up, everyone? East Tactics here. Want to show you guys another quick tactic that I think is an upgrade decision for your RC vehicle. As you know, I have the Arrma Kraton. It's the 2019 version 4. However, this piece of advice I feel like could probably run across the board for any of the Arrma rigs in their lineup, even previous years. So I've replaced my front A-arms with the RPM A-arms. I didn't do it as a mode of necessity. I did it just because I've heard a lot of good things about the RPM. Now, one of the issues that I ran into on my last bash session was, and it's actually happened in the past as well, from all of the jumping and the shocks, you know, basically going through a rigorous amount of load, I've had my shaft come out, and I don't know if it's happening when it's hitting the ground and the shock is, or the whole A-arm system is moving up, or what, but I've actually had to replace this dog bone receiver here, if that's even the right name for it, because my old one, it just got beat up and it was bent up and stuff, and it's because when you come down really hard and this whole arm moves up like this really high, you end up extending so far that your drive shaft actually comes out, or gets very, very close to coming out, and then ends up damaging the end points of this housing. Now, my last bash session, I must have come down pretty hard because it completely popped out. And so I did some research and also remembered that for whatever reason, Arrma installs these shims, and they also install a washer right here as a stock. And I'm not sure if this recommendation I'm about to make is only if you get the RPM rod ends, or if it's the same for both. I would probably say it doesn't matter if you have the stock rod end or if you have the stock A-arms or the RPMs, is to go in and actually remove this shim and remove this washer right here, and then screw the balls in all the way. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to insert the whole drive shaft in farther to lessen the likelihood of it popping out. I went ahead and I did it on this side, and you can see pretty clearly how much closer it is. Like, basically this thing fits in there and you see no gap on either side of it. And then on this side, you can clearly see the distance difference. Now, it might be a small amount, but I think it's pretty significant. Versus this. So I'm going to recommend basically removing the shim there, the spacer there, and the spacer there, to take advantage of that small amount of better insertion of the dog bone into the housing to decrease the likelihood of it popping out. The other thing that I want to talk about real quickly is the hub nuts. How tight do you want to screw these in? So what's the recommended tightness? How to tighten them and get that perfect amount of tightness, as well as the strategy behind taking these things in and out. There is a little bit of a trick to it, and so we'll talk about that.